PlayStation had everyone and their moms going through like PTSD since like 2011. And it was so weird because I think the outage went off was like a thing for maybe like a day, like almost 24 hours. And I read an article that said this is the longest PlayStation outage since the 2011 hack, and that lasted 23 days. And I was just there. I was like, that's crazy numbers. Like 18 hours is doesn't sound like a lot compared to 23 days. 18-hour outage is a very long time. I'm not saying it isn't, but compared to 23 days, it's like anybody that went through that shit, it's like, okay. I was actually talking about it on Blue Sky. I was talking about it on Blue Sky earlier today, and I was saying like I think the main takeaway from like the whole thing is just physical media, man. It's like you have like Sony and Microsoft are pushing for live service games very hard. They're trying to make their thing digital. It doesn't help that majority of gamers buy their games digitally nowadays. So the demographic that buys like physical media is gradually shrinking. But meanwhile, you have things like this massive disruption that happens, and now when the disruption takes place, you virtually lose access to all of your games. I want hard games, so physical media, yeah. And not even just physical media, just stop connecting your games to live service. That's really just it. Like if you are developing a game and there's a single player mode and you connect that single player mode to a live service, like just fuck you. Just entirely like fuck you. Like I hope you get nightmares when you sleep. Right, exactly. Just stop making it a license. Yeah. You had a lot of gamers that couldn't play their PSN titles because the PSN was down. They couldn't verify the license to say that yes, I own the license, or not own the license, but I do have a license to play this game. I bought this game. You're met with like an error saying we cannot verify this license, or you cannot play, or an error has occurred. Here's a unique code that basically says, in short, the PSN is outage is going on. You cannot access the PlayStation network. It's really dumb. But I heard services are coming back, but it's very spotty. Early Saturday evening, PlayStation status page suddenly shifted to green across the board with no more claims of service issues. Yep, everything's all green. This appeared to be a full PSN outage earlier, with everything from sign-ins to gaming to the PlayStation Store offline. Lately, we heard more reports from first-hand sources and posts on social media that the network is back online for some. Reports on the down detector has been trending down for a while, finally dipping under 1500 around 7 p.m. Eastern State Time. Yeah, it definitely dipped. And it was like a global outage. It wasn't like this is only affecting like Americans or like people like gamers in the northeast, the North American region. That wasn't the case. It was like a global thing. And there was one that I think I saw somewhere that they were speculating that it may have been like a DDoS attack. Probably. And the craziest part is, when they made that claim, they said that Microsoft also went through a DDoS attack, but their security shut it down real quick. And then like a month or two later, Sony got hit with that same DDoS attack, and they got caught with their pants down. And on Blue Sky, I was mentioning that if these companies are going to push for live service games, you want to push for live service games, if that's where the money is, that's where the money is. I get it. Businesses are going to be businesses at the end of the day. I fucking hate it. But my God, you have to up your standards when it comes to security if you're going to really do that. You really have to up your standards in security. But in reality, services are going to have outages all the time. It's just crazy that Sony is once again fumbling the bag here. Yeah, because there were times where people were logging in, and they would log in, and then they would suddenly just sign out. Like, in the next couple moments later. So, that's usually like a DDoS attack. Or at least signs that a system is recovering from that. fucking dumb. It stretched out longer than the previous time the PSN was down in October, which lasted roughly 9 hours. Thousands of angry PlayStation players have taken to social media to express their frustration. Call of Duty fans have been some of the most vocal, as outrage coincides with the promotional weekend. It's just an unfortunate outage all around. The fact that you have an outage going on, and like back in October, Call of Duty had like this big thing. They had like double XP or something, and then the PlayStation Network went down, and a lot of PlayStation players were pretty pissed about that. Because they're like, yo, there's double XP, double weapon XP, battle pass, double XP, and the PlayStation is down. And of course, Call of Duty fans are going to be the most vocal of all, of course. But the fact that PlayStation has been quiet on the whole thing, I'm pretty sure there was some sort of attack that took place. Because they were really quiet for a while. And that was something that they did during 2011. When there was an outage, they said nothing. It was like, yo, Sony, what's the word? What's the word? There was no word. We was just in the dark until they said, hey, listen, something may have happened. There may have been an attack.